Well, good morning, everyone. Terri Maxeiner here from Providence Solutions, and we know it's Tuesday because it's Terri Talks. So I welcome everyone back to Terri Talks. We had a great month last month as we road tripped all over to our campuses, but here we are back at our corporate offices in Tinley Park, and I have a wonderful guest today. I have Sharon Roy. She's account executive for our Providence at Home, our hospice division. So we just really want to just share some basic information about hospice and what really sets our Providence at Home and our hospice team set apart. So Sharon, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Terri. I am thrilled to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this work that I am so passionate about.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit, hospice. We've got kind of these guidelines that tell us when I start to ask the questions, how should that conversation start?
The conversation really starts, Terri, when we're either with a caseworker at a hospital or with a physician, and that physician or case manager has determined that in all likelihood this patient has a diagnosis of 6 months or less to live.
Okay.
And they're typically at the point where they have tried aggressive treatment, and there's either no more treatment to try that would be successful.
Got you.
Or patient or family has determined that aggressive treatment is not the approach that they want to take anymore.
Okay.
Perhaps mom and dad are 95 and have been going through chemo for a couple of years.
Right. Okay.
And so then the discussion turns to either palliative or hospice care, which when we talk with families, we like to refer as comfort care.
Okay, good. So there is this difference between palliative care and hospice care. Hospice and palliative. Palliative is part of the hospice, but hospice is not palliative. Do I have that right? Because palliative care is for anyone who's got a chronic disease.
That is true.
And symptom management.
Yes. And so palliative care, Medicare now is very strict about what makes someone hospice appropriate.
Okay.
There are certain diagnoses that a patient has to have, and those diagnoses have to be supported by medical documentation.
Okay.
To support the fact that they do meet the hospice criteria.
Excellent. Okay.
So in a case where we have a patient with a hospice appropriate diagnosis, but perhaps the medical records don't support the fact that they might have 6 months or less to live, we'll have the conversation about palliative care. And palliative care is typically a bridge over to hospice.
Excellent to know. So if I'm working with a family, they're coming through Providence Solutions and they have some questions to ask, and they're really in a quandary about, is this palliative care or is this hospice care? Can we have a representative from Providence at Home come out without a doctor's order, or do you need a doctor's order even to open up that discussion?
We can talk with families, and we do in fact talk to families and patients all the time about palliative or hospice care.
Okay.
However, before we do that, we do like to review the medical records.
Excellent.
Our hospice director and supervisor will review those, because without that documentation and the supporting documentation that they have a hospice appropriate diagnosis, then we're preparing family for something that we may not be able to assist with.
Okay, very good. Well, I know our hospice team loves veterans. And I know you brought this Afghan here. This is just something special that we do for our veterans who are a part of, our hospice and that are being serviced by our hospice team. So tell us about this Afghan.
Oh, we have the most amazing volunteers at Providence at Home. I couldn't be more proud of the work that they do. We do a lot of veteran work, and I, in fact, will conduct a number of veteran ceremonies. And we did one together. We escorted one of our patients to a beautiful ceremony.
Right.
So what we'll do in a situation where a veteran is not only on hospice, but palliative as well, we will have a pinning ceremony where we'll invite their family and we recognize them and thank them for their service to our country.
How amazing.
We'll play music. It is very moving, and then we pin them with an American flag pin, and we present them with one of these beautiful quilts or Afghans made by our volunteers.
Oh my, that is beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, what a way to celebrate. And then I was actually told about a great little celebration of life event that Providence Hospice is beginning to do with some selected clients that you're servicing. So tell me quickly about that.
Of course, Terry, I'd be happy to.
Yes.
I'm very, very proud of this program. We're rolling it out now. We are referring to it as a celebration of life. Both myself and my manager, Jeannie Bonzak, conducted one last week for one of our patients. And it just so happened that this patient's 2 daughters were in from out of town. So we were able to put this together in a day and a half, where we spoke to the patient and their family about where's your favorite place to go. And in this, I can't get into too many details,
yes,
but she told us her favorite place.
Exactly.
And she told us her favorite foods, and she told us her favorite music.
Oh.
And so we decorated a common space and had her family come. Her daughter ended up inviting several cousins and aunts and uncles who were able to make it as well. And we had her favorite dessert, and it was a very moving and almost sacred experience to see the family together.
What a celebration of her and her life. Because we always believe people live well. We need to have them die well.
Absolutely,
You know, and I'm so
Terry.
glad for the servant's heart of you and your team at Providence at Home, which I always like to end with. How do folks reach out to you? They just maybe have some inquiry or questions. Is there a way to call or website, or how would someone want to find out more information of Providence Hospice and palliative care?
We would be thrilled if someone would reach out to us at 1-800-509-2800, or we have a website as well, www.providencehospice.com.
Super. So that's providencehospice.com. Sharon, thank you so much for giving us time, letting us know about the hospice and palliative care. I know there's a lot of information about a hospice, and Sharon and one of her team members would love to have that discussion if that's something that your family is looking for. So again, I thank you for joining Terri Talks. It is Tuesday, and we're happy to bring you this segment and talking about hospice and palliative care. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.